Hey everyone, thank you for checking out A1 Math, and today we're continuing our lesson on volume. Previously we did cylinders and prisms, where you take the V, you find the volume by doing your base, big base, which is area, times height. Today we're going to deal with cones and pyramids, and with those you take the same formula and just divide it by 3. So here's your first example of a pyramid here. We've got a pyramid, and first we want to find the area of the base, or the large B here. So that's this square here, and the formula for that is our little base times height, and which will be 2 times 2. So our area equal 2 times 2, which would be 4. Now, we want to take this and plug it back into this formula with A being B. Okay, so we'll plug that in. I'm gonna write the formula first here. V is equal to the big base times the height, and divided by 3. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug in these values here. Here's the 4, which is my big base, or our area here from our square. And now we got to plug in the height of the square, which is going to come away and out to a point. So that's going to be 3. And then I have the 3 for my formula here. Now I just do these calculations, and that's going to get my volume equal to 12 divided by 3. And then 12 divided by 3, which is 4. So my volume is going to be 4 inches cubed. Okay. So it's just depending on what type of shape you have is where you start off with. You find the area of that, then multiply that times your height, and divide it by 3 if it's a pyramid or a cone. All right, let's take a look at another example. Here we have a rectangle, and it's going up to a point, which makes it a pyramid, and we're going to find the area of this part here. Shade it in this time. Shade it in, right. Find the area of that amount there. Okay, so that's going to be 11 times 7. So area is equal to base times height, and we're going to plug in the values. Area is equal to 11 times 7, and 11 times 7 is going to be 77. Now I have this value, which is going to fill into my volume formula, and the volume formula is V is equal to big base times height, and divided by 3 because it's a pyramid. So I plug in these values. Here, area, this part on the bottom, 77. We're going to multiply that times the height going straight up, which is 6. And don't forget to divide it by 3 from our formula. Okay, now we just work the calculations from there. 77 times 6 is going to be 462 divided by 3. And then once we do that, we'll have 154. And that's going to be yards cubed. Okay, and as long as you're dealing with a cone or a pyramid, this formula here will stay the same. But the formula that could change is the area, depending on what type of shape you're dealing with. So in this case here, we've got a triangle. It is this part here. And in our triangle, we want to make sure that we use the base and the height. Now, I see that the 10 is here, and you got a 6 here, the 8 here, and 10 looks like the base. And it would be if we had the measurement of the height going straight up and down and perpendicularly. But we don't. So we're going to use the 8 as our base and say the perpendicular height is 6, because that's what we have, two lines that's perpendicular. All right, so now I'm going to plug in my values in my formula. I got area is equal to the base times height divided by 2. And this is the formula for the area of a triangle. So area is equal to 8 times 6 divided by 2. And as we keep going here, 8 times 6 is going to be 48. Divided by 2. Area is equal to 24. And now we have our area that we're going to use as our big B, our big base, and use it to plug into the volume. So I'm going to write my volume formula. V is equal to base times height. And since this is a pyramid, we're going to divide by 3. So the big B is the same as the area, so that's going to be 24 times the height. The height in this case, since it's going from our triangle straight up to the point, it's going to be 11. And from the formula, we're going to divide by 3. All right, now multiply the 24 times 11, and that's going to get us 264. Then divide that by 3. And that leaves our final answer to be 88 centimeters cubed. Okay, now I'd like to do one more example and take a look at this one. And all of these right here was pyramids, but this right here is going to be a cone. And with our cone, what we want to do is find the area of the circle, use that as our big base, multiply it times the height, and then divide by 3. So we're going to start with formula for the area of a circle, which is pi r squared. And like we did in the last video with the volume, we want to leave it in terms of pi, so that makes it extra easy. So we're going to have A is equal to R, which is 11, squared times pi. Okay, and 11 squared is going to equal 121. Now bring down my pi. All right, so now I have my area for the base, and I'm gonna write my formula here. V is equal to the big base times the height, and because it's a cone this time, but it still goes up to a certain point, we're gonna divide by 3. So I'm gonna plug this in just like it is, 121 pi, and then multiply this times the height, in this case is 22. And then divide by 3. Now, the 121, I'm going to leave this pi in terms of pi, so the pi is going to be in our final answer. I'm just going to multiply the 121 times 22. That's going to give me 2,662. And then I'm going to divide that by 3. And that's going to leave me with this decimal, 887.33333. Oh, left my pi off here. 887.333. I'm just going to round it to a 0.3 and put my pi on the end here. And then this will be my final answer. And again, that would be meters cubed. Okay, now to recap, what we're doing is finding the base and using it to multiply against the height. So we're going to use the area that we're working with, and whatever area you found, whether it be a square, a rectangle, or a circle, find that area, we plug it into our main formula, the base, and multiply it by the height, and then divide by 3, because it's either a cone or a pyramid. Okay? All right? I want to thank you for checking out A1 Math, and have a nice day.